Hello friends, my name is Masood. Today we shall discuss about the common interview questions for project manager. Today's topic is very interesting and I have taken a decision to make a very simple video in which I want to explain a very common questions which are commonly asked in the interview questions for as a project manager. So let's start friend. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well so that my new videos can reach to you. So let's start friend. First question, which is a very common question which they've normally asked in the interview for a project management position, that what is the most important thing a project manager does. Friend, it is a very tricky question. Why? Because see that if you have just a bookish knowledge, so you can answer some bookish answer, for example. But if you have some experience as a project management, you know that actually what is project management. So the answer basically of this question, that actually what project manager does is he is basically doing the communication. Actually basically he is doing the communication. His main job, or you can say 95% he is basically doing the communication. Actually communication with the stakeholders, communication with the customer, with the team, with the functional management, with the senior management. So communication in terms of verbal communication, communication in terms of written communication. So as a project manager you are basically doing the communication actually. Then next question is very interesting, that have you ever had a project that did not meet the deadline or budget. Obviously if you are implementing projects many times, realistically or honestly, it happens that many projects are there which are not completed on time, which are not completed within budget or timeline. So what is your basically theory, what basically you do? So in this type of question friend, you must have to explain the situation, that explain the issue in a positive and constructive way, that what were the issues, task, explain your role in the situation, what you were doing in that particular situation when your project was lacking to complete on time or budget. Action, that explain what you did to resolve or address these situation or issues. Then result, explain how your solution had a positive impact on the project, that how you get back the project on time. So basically in that way you must have to reply to that question. What does a typical relationship with your project sponsors look like? Friend, you know that project sponsor is a person, is a main strongest, we can say, the role in the project. He is not only providing the funding for the project, also he has a you can say a very strong influence on the project actually. So friend, this is very important, that you must have a very good relationship with the project sponsor, like you have a meeting with them, telephone call with them, face to face meeting with them, status reporting with them. So as a project manager, obviously friend, should describe how often you contact your sponsor and why, like you are reporting to the status, you are reporting the issues to them, you are escalating the issues whatever they are. So this, in that way basically you have to define that how you are having a relationship with the project sponsor, that what was your most successful project. Now you must have to understand this type of question, that what is the criteria of a success. Normally friend, the main success of the criteria is that your project must have to achieve the objective of the project, that why this project was initiated and what was the goals and objective of the project. Then the project should be completed on time and the project should be completed within budget. Remember friend, one thing, that if your project is not completed on time, if your project is not achieving the goals or the objective, so if for example you are thinking that your project is successful, but in fact in actual your project is not successful. What sort of project management tools normally you use? There are so many tools normally used for project management. A very good idea is that if you are going for an interview, so you must have to read the JD job description or requirement of the company. If they have mentioned any particular tool, so you must have to study about it before going to the interview. For example, normally Microsoft Project or Project Server or Jira, Normally these are the very common tools of project management. Though these must be asked in the question in the interview, that have you ever used these softwares. Friend, as a project manager, you must have hands-on experience on these tools: Microsoft Project Server, Jira, Google Docs, other tools like Basecamp. So you must have to know about it, and at least one or two tools you should have a hands-on experience on that. These tools are very easy. For example, for Jira, you can easily make a test account on the website of Jira, and you can have an hands-on experience about this tool before going into the interview. This is a very easy tool, and you can easily learn about these tools. Microsoft Project is also a very easy tool. You can very easily install this software on the Windows, and you can get the knowledge that how it can work around. Then what escalation paths do you use? Escalation means that, friend, this is also very common question, that for example you are having some issues. For example, you need some data from the customer, and despite of multiple reminders, he is not providing you the data. So what you will do in that case? Obviously you will escalate the matter to the senior management in that case. Now what is the escalation path, friend? As per the escalation matrix, normally it is mentioned in the escalation matrix. Escalation matrix means that, for example, first you will contact with the functional manager, then you will contact with the senior manager, then you will contact with the for example, CEO of the company. So this is the escalation path. Normally this path is defined in the escalation matrix. So as per the definition defined in the escalation matrix of the organization or communication mechanism, you have to escalate it to the management. For example, first you will escalate it to the functional management, then to the senior management, and then to the C level like CTO or CEO. Next question: what project management methods do you use? It depends on the organizational structure. For example, many organizations are using the traditional project management approach like waterfall approach, in which this is a sequential approach in which we like you do the planning, then development, testing, and then the deployment. So first you do the requirement gathering. First you will do the requirement gathering, planning, then development, testing, and then deployment. So this is the waterfall approach actually. Other approaches nowadays very common like Scrum, which is based on the Agile approach, Kanban also approach, Lean, and extreme programming. So many approaches nowadays available. So as a project manager, you must have to know that what methodology you are using, okay, and also you must have to know that what are the advantages and disadvantages of different project management methodology. Like what is the advantage of using the waterfall approach, what is the advantage of using the Scrum approach. So and which methodology used to be where. For example, you are implementing a website. For example, you are building a website. So normally we use the Scrum approach for website or mobile application. If you are implementing an enterprise solution, like for example you are implementing ERP, so generally we use the waterfall approach. So you must have to know that which methodology should be suitable for which type of project, and where you have to use and why, and what are the advantages and disadvantages. How do you deal with the scope creep? Friend, a scope creep, what is the scope creep meaning? A scope creep means that many times it happens that we started a project, and with the passage of time we are deviating from the scope. For example, that means as per when the project start, there were 5 modules which you have to deliver, but with the passage of time, when the project is moving forward, so we are deviating from the scope. There were 5 modules, then 1 more modules added, or actually what was the objective, what was the scope, we are totally deviating from that actually. So scope creep, how you can avoid, how can you avoid the scope creep? So basically you must have to make a scope document. Scope document means that the whatever the deliverables are there, it should be defined in the scope document, and it should be signed by the customer and by the internal management as well, and it should be properly circulated and explained to the customer side as well. These are the scope, this is the scope document, should be signed, and what we are actually going to deliver. Whenever there are some wish list is coming from the customer, or when we are going to deviate from the scope, So you can bring the scope document in front of all of the relevant stakeholder and show them that this is the scope which was agreed and what we are going to deliver, and if they want to add any more modules, more requirements, so it will be a change request. So scope document, through by using the scope document you can avoid the scope creep. Then how you handle the team conflicts. Friend, as a project manager you must have to know about your team. First, remember that conflict by itself is not a bad thing. Conflict means disagreement or difference of opinion actually. So whenever there is a conflict, you must have to sit with the team, talk with them, and as a neutral person you must have to decide that which person is right, which person is wrong. So by itself conflict is not bad, but the conflict management is the responsibility of the project management. How do you handle underperforming team members? Friend, underperforming team members, that means any team member that is not achieving the goals or not performing as per the requirement. So what you will do in that case, first of all you have to talk with them one to one, that inform him that this person, that you are not performing well, that you are not achieving your goals, or you are not meeting the timelines, deadlines, etc. And then after once you have noticed, give him a chance to improve. For example, after one or two giving the chances, so you have to escalate the matter to the functional management, the senior management, that this issue is not resolving. If this issue is resolved after escalating the matter to the senior management, then it's okay. If it's still not resolved, then you must have to replace that resource with someone else. What was your last project like? Whatever the project you have implemented, like your last project will show what you have learned as a project manager. You can talk about any setbacks and achievements you experience. Normally, friend, this is a good idea that any last project which successfully completed, it is better to explain it in the interview. Normally we explain the positive things in this type of question, that we have delivered particular project on task, we have completed particular task on time, etc. So whatever your last project, you have to appropriately define in front of the interviewer. So friend, thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching the video. Thank you.